I was asking.
Okay, look here, right? Today, right, October 29th in Tanzania, they just went to the polls, right?
Yeah.
And remind me. I think even in Ivory Coast, in what's the other country, they voted for the general election.
Yeah, so I think this week and last week we have had like two elections, one in Ivory Coast, the other in Cameroon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the Cameroon one actually happened like 2 weeks ago, but the results were just declared like 2 days ago, I think. Or, yeah, 2 3 days ago.
Cameroon. Let's talk first with the Cameroon, and then the next one is going to be Ivory Coast, and then the last one is going to be Tanzania.
Okay.
Okay. Talks a little bit about the election in Cameroon. How was it?
Yeah. So for Cameroon, we had like the guy who's been in power for how long now? This is his 8th term. I mean, they say he has won the election, and he's above 90 years old. He hardly walks. I mean, he can barely walk, and according to the body in charge of the elections, he won the elections. And before they even released the results, they arrested all the main opposition leaders.
What they do again? They arrested
they arrested all the main opposition leaders before they could declare the result, because his main challenger, that is Issa Chiroma or something like that, he actually declared that he won the elections. Right? So that was like last week and last 2 weeks. That was what he said, that he won the elections. And so, but then it was not declared by the body in charge of that, right?
The election commission.
Yeah, they have a name that I forgot. Yeah. So this week, before they declared it, they arrested all the main oppositions, and then they declared that Biya has been re-elected again. So this is his 8th term, and he's 92 years old now, I think. So
what is your reflection with respect to his age now and the age group today? I think we know that the vast majority of Africans are age between...
Yeah, so African, the age group is young. I mean, the majority of the people are 30 and below. So it is actually sudden that the leaders are like 80 and above. I was reading that the average African leader is 65 and above. And you're looking at the young group, the age group. I mean, the majority of the people are below 30. So there's like that gap, that generational gap, not even one generation, it could be two, right? So let's say you are 25 and then your leader is 80, 90. That is more than a generation, right? So this leader has to govern you. The assumption is that they know what you want, or you have chosen them. It could not be I mean, it is so unreasonable for you to tell me that someone...
It's not even economic viable.
It is not viable. It is not reasonable for you to tell me that I will vote for someone 92 years old when I'm barely 30 years old, right?
It's just like an orange and an apple.
And yeah, orange. When the person himself has been in power for the past 40 years and he's done nothing. So I was born and I grew up. He's the only one who has been in power in the country I know. As a child, and today is the same, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me that I will foolishly go to the polls and vote for that person again.
Okay, let's move to Ivory Coast. What's the the conditions out there in Ivory Coast?
Yeah,
but before we move to Ivory Coast, so what's going on in Cameroon now? There's a chaos all over places. Is that a true statement?
So for Cameroon, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, there were some people who died when the results were released this week, unfortunately. Yeah, we had some lives lost. And they banned, I mean, I think they could shut down the internet as usual in many of these states, you know. They shut it. So we really don't know how many people died, but yeah, there was some chaos on the streets.
What about the Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast, it went well, I mean, like relatively. Yeah, but also there too, we had the main opposition, or the main two oppositions who were banned, they couldn't contest. So Alassane Ouattara won by almost 90%. And one has to think of it, I mean, what have you done for the people to warrant a 90% election win? I mean, yeah, it is okay. If
How
you
is
win by,
you're an economist? How is what they call it, the economic health of the Ivory Coast as we speak at this point?
I mean, yeah, like economically, Ivory Coast has done well since Ouattara came to power, right? But doing well in power doesn't mean you should stay in power forever, right? Because, well, if you can do good, maybe someone else will do better.
Will improve the
will do better. And
what do you have?
One other side effect of being in power for long is that whoever comes after you also wants to stay in power for long. Who knows? Maybe that person will be bad, and we'll have to live with that person. Maybe you are good, that's fine, but you have set a legacy that whoever comes after you should also stay for long.
That's West Africa, Ivory Coast, and Cameroon.
Yes, so
next
Cameroon is Central West Africa.
Okay, so now let's move to East Africa, and then I know you're not familiar, but you know a lot because you're in education and you're an economist. Let's talk about Tanzania. What do you know about Tanzania first?
Yeah, I mean, I've read about Tanzania. I really follow the politics of Tanzania since Magufuli came to power.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know Magufuli.
Yeah, I know John Magufuli. Yeah.
Let's talk about Samia Suluhu Hassan now.
Samia Suluhu Hassan came, I mean, like, when Magufuli died and she took over, everyone thought she was gonna make reforms, right? You know, like, yeah, but then as we all see today, it looks like things are even getting worse, right? She has jailed her main opposition parties. I know for one, Tundu Lissu, I met him here. Yeah, unfortunately I heard he's in jail right now, and he was bad. So unfortunately, it is an ISO that, well, whenever we have hope for someone in Africa, the person tends to be the worst candidate. And I don't know what we can do about it. We just have to, I don't know. I have hope in the Gen Z that they'll take back Africa.
They'll turn around and then they'll move us in the right direction.
Yeah.
So what is your last word now with respect to these general elections in West Africa, East Africa, and then there's another one in East Africa is coming up soon in Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. What is your predictions with respect to general election in Uganda?
Well, so when it comes to dictators like that, it is so easy for you to tell who's going to win. I mean, Museveni is going to win. If you told me he's going to win in Cameroon and Ivory Coast, I could easily tell you. But for countries like Botswana, Ghana, South Africa, who are doing quite well, you know, it is difficult for you to tell, right? Yeah, unless maybe the incumbent is not going to contest, then you can judge between the two new guys, right? But apart from that, yeah, for countries that are mostly dictatorial, like Uganda, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, and all, you can easily tell. So for Uganda, I know it is Museveni who is going to win.
Who's going to win, most definitely.
Yeah,
so,
most definitely.
What advice now are you giving to the young generation, both in the whole continent of Africa, in West Africa and East Africa and Tanzania? Because in Tanzania, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Now it's a little bit late there, and then there's been a lot of chaos going on in the streets, in Dar es Salaam, in Arusha, and elsewhere in Tanzania. So what is the advice are you giving to Generation Z with respect to this election outcome?
I mean, one thing is you don't want to incite anyone to violence, to engage in violent activities. That one, we should discourage it. If we go outside the street, we should not get engaged in acts of violence, right? It is one thing for you to come out and register your disagreement, right? What things you don't like, and then it is another thing for you to engage in acts of violence. There's always some laid down mechanisms, right, in civilized societies as to how to register your your
concerns.
Exactly. So I think they shouldn't. For me, I will always advise against the use of violence. Yes, even though Gen Z they are known for not obeying the authority, so Yeah, so my main advice will be that, well, they have the right to come outside and demonstrate and all of that, but they should desist from act of violence. Yeah.
So thank you very much for your advice or opinion with respect to the general elections that has been now happening in Tanzania and also in Ivory Coast, in where again?
Cameroon.
And Cameroon.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.